Yeah, hello everyone. So welcome to the Future Data Driven Summit 2022. So on the right corner have the barcode, so everyone can scan this, can access our conference today. So also here is another barcode, so you can join the Microsoft Teams through this code, then to participate in any other kind of the different kind of the meetings for today. So we have a very diverse different kind of the meetings. So the second thing, we really want to thanks to our sponsors. The first one is the stream, and also the package, the partnership company, and also the silver Microsoft partner, the Power BI, the Sentinel, and also the X agent and the Q associators. So after I close this kind of the presentation, then I will share a kind of the link. Then we also have a very fun party. After the conference, we have the swaggers to thanks for everyone join us today. So we have different kind of the gifts and books for you guys. Thanks for joining. Yeah, then we have the quick introduction for the Vahid. We are very excited to have him to join us today. So he will talk about the advantages of how to use HTML in your Power BI reports. So yeah, this is a very fun topic as I am also a Power BI user. So this is kind of deep level how to use the HTML stuff. You can leverage like CSS, HTML in the Power BI. Very good for the customization in your report. You will do something you cannot do from the default the native visuals and everything on Power BI. So yeah, I think then we just pass our meeting to the Vahid. Okay, here you are. Vahid, this is your turn.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your words and thank you for having me. Let me just share my screen.
Yeah, we can see it. Go ahead,
Okay,
please.
perfect. So, hello everyone, and I'm very happy to be here and super excited to be a speaker today in this event. And thank you for joining us. My name is Vahid Doustimajd, and I want to present and talk about the advantages of using HTML in your Power BI reports. A little bit introduction about me. I'm the Microsoft Data Platform MVP and Microsoft Certified Trainer. I have around more than 12 years experience. I started as a scheduler. I work most of my careers are in the project control area, but project management area. But I made the decision 5 years ago to change my career and become a data analyst because I work with many Excel files. I prepare the dashboards, reports, and then I found that I do like to create reports, playing with the codes and visualizing data. So I changed my career, and now I'm working as a program data analyst and reporting lead in Fort Morgan in Sydney, Australia. I'm the Microsoft Certified Trainer and Microsoft Certified Data Analyst. I'm a super user in the Power BI community. If you haven't used that community website, I really recommend that to open that community website and start being an active person, an active user there. I'm a technical person, which means I do like to read and learn new things about the technology, anything, especially in the data analyzing, Power BI, DAX, Power Query, and I'm the leader of the Persian Power BI user group and the blogger and learner. So that's pretty much about myself. What I want to present in this session. My session will be fully demo session. So I just have this slide and then another slide, which I will present that at the end of the session. I want to talk about how we can use the HTML in our Power BI reports. So it's always good to visualize our data in an intelligent way, in a smart way. So I want to talk about I'm going to talk about the HTML tags. I want to show how you can create the better text box on your report, because right now you can create the text box, but you can't add it, for example, give the end user these options to change the size of the text, or change the color of the text, or change the font of the text. I will show you how you can do that with the HTML. Then I will talk about the HTML image, and if we found I need to be too fast, because if I want to cover all these items, I need around 1 hour. So I will try to do my best to be fast and explain everything, to cover the HTML, GIF, and GIF and video, and show you how you can embed the videos in your reports, and then show that to the people. You can record the video, for example, if you want to have one page for your report to show that how people can use the reports, or explain or show how people, for example, introduction, or how people can find the more information about your visualization or reports. You can record that video, publish that on the website, and then embed that in your report. So let me just close this one and jump to my Power BI report. So as I told you, this session will be fully demo session. So I don't have any other slides. So let's go to the intro section, intro page. So yes, you can see the Daniel Marshpatrick photo on the page. On the first page, Daniel is the Microsoft MVP, and he's a professional data analytic person. Why I added his photo on his image on my first slide or face page, because there are to use the HTML codes on our Power BI reports, we need to use some custom visuals. There are few number of the custom visuals on the app source or app source. You can go to this area. Oh, sorry. Okay. So you can go there, get more visual, and then if you check just search for HTML, you can find that there are few options for you, but I want to use this HTML content visual today. And because of that, I add the Daniel Marshpatrick, who is the developer of this custom visual, to the first page to say thank you to him. And then he's not only, this is not the only visual he developed. He is the owner of he is the developer of the DNF visual. If you don't know that, you can search on the web, or you can just open his website, and then you can find out how powerful is that. So, okay, let's move to the paragraph. So how we want to do the paragraph, or how we can use the HTML code in the Power BI. So basically, if you want to add the HTML text or paragraph on your Power BI reports, you can go to the insert, add a text box, and then write your text here, whatever you want to write. So what I want to do, I want to create a measure, and then use the DAX and add the HTML code in there, and then using that in my HTML visual. So if I want to use this HTML visual, that has two fields here. So the values field, if you have any measure or any column with the HTML code, that will show that HTML code, or that will use and run that HTML code for you. So I want to create one HTML first measure here. So new measure. Okay, let me just make it a little bigger. Okay. I will name it HTML text, and then to use the HTML. So before using the HTML, let's start using double quotation. So double quotation, and then writing the just added there. So future, for example, data-driven event, and then Power Platform. So if I added that text between those double quotation, and then add it to the, for example, to the car here, HTML text, that will show that text here. This is here. And then if I added that one to this HTML visual that will do the same here. So it means if you want to add the code, HTML code to your report, or you want to use the HTML code in the Power BI report, you need to add your HTML code between those two double quotations. So first HTML tag we want to use in this presentation is the paragraph tag. So we can use the paragraph tag if we want to add the paragraph to here. So we will open that and then close that at the end here. So that paragraph tag will define the paragraph in the HTML language. So if I add this one and then close this one, that will show or represent all tags between those two, between the start and finish. But we have another tags that's H1 and H6. That H1 and H6 are the headline. Those tags are used to define the HTML heading. So if I use the H1 here and then at the end use the H1 here, that will show the header with bigger font size. And the difference between H1 to H6 is the size of those fonts. So if I use the H3 here, that will be smaller. And then if I change that to H6, that will be more small than the previous one. So I want to use the P paragraph one. So I will change this to the paragraph. So why I want to use these tags, because in the next slide, in close future, in the next item, I want to add a style to these tags. If I don't add this one, it's very hard to add a style there. What means the style? So let's move to the next one. So here, okay. So now I have a text. I added very simple text here with the paragraph tag of the HTML paragraph tag. Now I want to add some style to my HTML code. So I will just change this one here, and then I want to add the style. Just copy paste this from here. So if I want to add the style, I need to open the style and then. Okay, so what's happened here? It says the style will start here and finish here, and then we say that P means all items will start with P. So that the style or CSS will affect all of items with the P here. So that will change the font size to the 20 pixels. That will change the color and let me just close this one and start with the font size. Yeah, okay. So if I click on this one, the size of the font size will change to 20. I can change that to 120. More super big, so let's make it 40. So you can change the font size from the 1 pixel to 4 pixel, 1 pixel to 200 pixels. So that's a good one, because we are limited in the text box in terms of changing the font size. So that's the first advantage we can do. We can change it here. So the other things we can change is to add a color, to change the color of the font and change the background color. So let's start with changing the color. So if we want to change the color, let me make it a little bit bigger here. So right now the color is black. If I change it to red, that will change to red. Or if I said green here, type green here, that will change to green. You can use the name of the colors, or you can use that hex code, or even the RGB or RGBA code. See, if I, for example, if I want to use the hex code here, so I can go there, open this one, and then, for example, let's find this one, copy this, and then turn this off, and then open this one, and then just paste it here. So that will, no, not the font size, this one, color. So that will change the color, of the font based on this hex code. We can change it, to the RGBA code or RGB code, or just say, for example, the light green. And that will change to the light green, or we can change it even to the dark green. So easy to change the color of change the color. And then The other thing we want to use, well, I want to use the background color. Let me just copy paste to save the time. So with this code, with this style, with this item in the style, I can change the background color of the text. So if I click on this one, that will change the background color into red. And if I change the color to black, the text color to black, so the text color will be black and the background color will be red. So if I change it again to green, that will change to green, and then you can change it to whatever you want. You can use the hex code there. But what we want to do, we want to add the slicer to our report and give this option to the end user to be able to change the font size of the text by changing that slicer number. So okay, so what I want to do first, I will define the parameter here, and so that's a numeric parameter, and then the name is font and font size, and then it from 0 to 100. Let's say 10 to 100. Sorry, to 100 and increment 1. So add a slicer to page. Yes, let's add a slicer to page. So I create a parameter that will create a one table here, which is here, and then we'll add this slicer to the page. So I have a font size here. So I will bring it here, make this one a little bit smaller. Of space. So I want to connect this one, for example, this 26. I want to connect this slicer to this text box to be able to change the text size by changing the slicer number. So if you create the parameter that will use this generate series number, the generate series the X function, I will create one table with that one, and we'll create automatically one measure, which is the select value of this font size. So whatever you select here, this text will return that number. So okay, we have this measure, and I want to use that in our text. So I will define a variable here as a font size, and then we'll name it as equal to font size value, this one. So now we have the value here, and we want to use that in our code. So again, our HTML code need to be between two double quotations. So whatever here will be considered as a HTML code when you're using the HTML visual. So now I want to change this, and I want to replace that with that variable. So I will remove that one, and we'll say, okay, this one, I close that text box, and with that variable again, and then again, let's open that one. What will happen here? That will consider this area as a text. Then we'll add this as a text to that to between these two texts, because this area is text as well between two double quotation, and this item, which is the number from this measure, will be added to the middle of that text. So if I click on this OK, that will change the size of the text right now. So if I change this one, that will change the size of the font, or the size of the font. So let me just make it as a light green. Okay, the background. Okay, that's much better now. So with this one, I can now change the size of the text. That's very useful, because maybe some of you want to add text box on your report to explain about for example, some visual, and then you can give this option to the end user to have a slicer and change the font size of that. Maybe someone forgot to take the eyeglass from home, so now that person, they can read those information very well. So it's not only that one, even maybe you want to just highlight one part of the text. So I will remove this text background now. And if you want to change, because with that text background, because it's a style of the paragraph, that will affect all text between this paragraph. So between these two the paragraph tags. So what I want to do, I want to just highlight this power, and I want to highlight that with green or with another color. So in that case, I can use the span which is another HTML code, but I don't need to use that in the style section. I just need add it before that text. So because I just want to change the color of the power text, some part of the text, not all text. So open that one and then close this one here. So if I click on this one, just the power platform, because I didn't close the span, that started from here and go to the end. I need to close this one. That's like, okay. So now I just highlighted the power number. So I can make that again. I can use that in all text or in our text box. How we can use that? For example, here I added another table here with the countries and the sales. So okay. So I can write I can add a code, the X expression to my HTML text and said, okay, whenever I select the country, if the value of that sale is more than 24 million, make that green, otherwise make that red. So I will change this one here. Let me add a slicer here. And then country, this is nice. I want to make sure I can just use, I can just select one of them. So yeah, okay. So I can use select France, okay, Germany, okay. So this is the slicer I want to use. I want to use just be able to select one for one country there. So I will use another variable and make it as a country name. See, and then I just use max, because with max I can return that country now, the text which is selected with that one. So then country here, okay. And then rather than this power, I want to use that country name. So here I want to close this again, and this one CN, and then I don't need this platform. So here, that will return India, because I select the India here. If I click the Germany, that will show the Germany. That will show that country name I selected in this slicer. But I want to change. I want to make sure this background of this country will be changed. If this number is more than 24 million, make that green. If it's less than that, make it red. So I will back this here. We'll say, okay, variable, the sale, sum of sales. So I will say, max of sum of sales. So here, this one will be here, and then another variables as a text highlighted. So, and then in this one, I will say if this value, this sum of my sales, or just sales, if the sales is more than the 25 million or 20, let's make it 24 million. Yeah, 24 million. Yeah, 24. Yeah, perfect. If it's more than that one, return this one here. Let's make it here, and then change this one between double quotation to make it as a text. Change this background color, this one to green. And then if not, return the same one, but this time with the red background. And then close it. Okay, rather than this code, I will remove that one and will replace that just with that th variable, which I created now. Okay, so let's back. So what happened here? Okay, so to make it more clear here, so okay. Okay, what will happen here? So I said select the sale. If the sale more than 24 million, make it green, the background that one. If it's less than the 24, make it red. So if I back to this one, back here, the India is 24 million. So it's more than that one. Let me check, maybe something is not correct. Yeah, okay, back to here. So background color, green, if it's more than here, 24 million, and it's 24 million, 25 million, yeah. So it is the same max of that. Yeah, some of this financial sales. Yeah, so, and then here span, return this here. Okay, so let's change this one with this code here. So let me go there. Let me just first check one thing here to make sure that green can go or not. So here. The span color, okay. That should be not. Okay, so now it's all green. Okay, that worked well. So let's back to here, says HTML. And here, problem should be here if it's more than 24. And it's 20, let's make it 25. Click on this one. So this is 24, all of them, yeah, that works now. So it's less than, is more than 25, it's green now, and it's Mexico, less than that one is red. So now you can set you can have the one, the background will be dynamic. So you can create something, text with the numbers, and then say with the background color, you just split or separate those things and make sure that's the improvement, or that's a reduce in the numbers, or that's more than average or less than average. Okay, let's move from this one because I need to finish that. There are many items I know about. I want to make sure I'm using them and showing them during this session. Okay, so that's this one. And then in terms of the highlight, again, you can add another variable. You can say if it's more than this, yes or no, and then add a key at the bottom here to say yes or no, and then click on the yes or no to change the color and then to change the highlight of that. So now let's move to the Google text. So the next thing I want to add to this text box, I want to change this, change the font color, font of this text, and use the font from the Google font. So what I will do, I will add this style to the code. That's the API, and we'll connect, or let me just space. Yeah. Okay. So here, let me just make it smaller. Let me know if you can't read those codes. But okay. So what I will do, I will add this code here. This one here. Yeah. Okay. So what I did, I add this link here, which is the API, and will read the information, the family of the code, and the name of the code from the font, from the Google font website. And then here I added the font family thing, font family code in the style there. So what that will explain there, it will say, okay, the family is Sophia. These two items, the Sophia one, need to be same. So if you use another name of the font name from the Google's website, from the Google font side, you need to change both of them. So now if I click on OK, this font will change to this. Oh, sorry, this one. Style font. What's happening? Yeah, so okay, so copy from the other my old font, maybe from this one. Yeah. Here. There we go. Okay. And the most important thing, the one important thing when you want to use that is these codes, the HTML codes are very sensitive to these quotation marks. So make sure if you find the HTML code on the website, before you use it in the Power BI report, make sure to change all of those double quotation to one single quotation, and then keep the double quotation just in a start and finish. Otherwise, that won't work. So okay, so now we have this API, and then we use that font family here. So now the font is different. That's like a handwriting font, and this is another advantage because we can't have this this type of font in our text. So what we can do, other than that one, if I open this Google Fonts, there are million fonts here. For example, if I want to use this one, let's use this one, for example. I click on this one and just copy the name back to my code and change this one, Ctrl-Shift-L to change both of them, because this needs to be same as this one. And if I click on this, click OK, the font will change. And now we have this font, this type of this font in our report. So in this, by using this code, by using the HTML and using this API and using the Google font, there is no limitation in terms of selecting the font. But I know it's just for the font right now. But if you want to create the tables with the different fonts, you can do it. You can use the codes, HTML code, and create your tables. But it's not that easy, because you can create the table very easy, but just drop down, drop the columns to the table visual, and you have it. But if you want to create a font, to have a report with all fonts from like this, you need to create all visuals with HTML code, which is not that easy, but it's possible. So let's back to our report. Where is that? Here. So now what we did, we added the HTML Google font. Here, we added the Google font to this one as an API that will pull the information from the Google website, and then we'll change the font here. So we can have another drop down here to say, okay, I want to change the font by selecting the font names here. So I added this here before. I selected some Google font name and I added them to the table. And now I can create this slicer here. And then let's make it that well. We can just select one. Okay, so now I want to make sure if I select this one, the font of this text box will change to Lobster. So now I can change this one, define another variable as a Google font, and then say that's the max of the Google font. Okay, whatever I select there, that will return, and then I need to make sure to change this one and say return that Google font variable instead, and then close that one. And if I change that one here to make sure those two are same, click on OK. That code will use this variable to change the text here. So now that changed to the Lobster. If I select this one, the font will change to another one. And if I select the for Sophia, that will change to another font. So you can find some codes, some fonts which you like to present your text with those format. You can find the name of them, add it to the table, create a table, and then create a slicer and assign the output of that slicer to your HTML text code. So okay, so that's a Google font. If you have any question, please feel free to write it in the chat box. I will make sure to have an eye on this one and answer your questions. So okay, let's add to the next.
I have had. So yeah, I just have one question from one the attendee. So they ask, do we get any kind of like the GitHub or anything like the PBX file for this kind of the stuff you just presented?
Sorry, what was the
So
question?
yeah, so after the meeting, will they be able to get any kind of file about what you just
Yeah,
presented?
I will make sure I will send a file to you, or I will
Okay.
share it on somewhere. If you give me your email, I think I have your email address. I will send it to you. Then you can put it on the website or send it to all
Okay.
attendees. Yeah, that's possible.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
then the other thing is, if you check my website, there are 2 or 3 or more than 3 blog posts, and I explain almost all of these things with all details on my website.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I will drop your website link in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so mark you. So now we have the text. We have a text box. We make it the smart text box. Now we have a different tab with different Google, a different font, which will make our reports totally different than the other reports. If someone report open that one and find out, oh, the font is different, that will catch the eyes, especially for the developer and the technical people, so they can find that you did something smart or you did something new on your report. The other things you can give, the other thing we did is to change the size of the font with this slicer, which is very useful for the end user. And then you can give the options to the end user to select the font, and you can add million fonts a name from the Google font, and then just add the slicer here, and they can select those font names, and the font format will change based on their selection. So now what we want to do, imagine you have a very busy report. You have many visuals on your report, and you can't find a good space to have your text box. The good solution is to have a form, to have a movement to your text. It's like these advertisement around there. For example, football field. You can see it will start from the left side or right side, go to the left, or from the right side to right, the left right side to the left. So you can add a very long text, and that will start from the left and go to the right. So if people they're using your report, you can add some highlighted information. Then, for example, like the average of this year, average last year, this month's sales, or something like that. Those highlighted information at the top of your report, at the bottom of your report. How we can use it? We can add another. We can use another tag, HTML tag, which is the mark you, and this tag is contained of tag HTML is implemented for creating the scrollable text or images. So what we will do, I will use this, copy this one and go back to the text we created. And this time I need to edit that code before all paragraph, because I want to make sure this code will affect all my paragraph. All paragraph I want to just start from the left side to the right side, or to the light side. So I open the mark queue here, and I need to close it here. Okay, so what will happen if I click on this one? That will start showing my font, which is a start from the right side, go to the left side, and stop. Where that will stop at the end of the size of my visual. So if I make it open bigger or smaller, that will change the movement. But there are some additional information for this code. So one of them is the scroll amount, which will set the speed of that scroll, that movement. If I make it 120, that will be super fast. So if I make it 10, so that will be slow. So you can set how fast you want to show those information on your report. So that behavior will show the scroll, slide, and alternate. What is that one? Now it's the slide. You see, it started from the side. The direction I create. It started from the right side because the direction is left. If I change the direction to right, that will start from the left and we go to the right. So, but it will start from that area and will stop at the end of the visualization. So it limited to the visualization area. So if I change that to the scroll, then that will change the behavior of the text movement. That will start again from the left side to right because the direction is right, but it will continue that one. So it will disappear and then starting again. So that's a good solution for you. If you have a very long information, you want to show all of them at the bottom of your report, top of your report, you can use this solution. And then we have alternate behavior, and that will show the text with that direction, but will with the limitation of the size of your visual. So it will be fixed between the. Okay, maybe I just type it. Okay. Okay, so now it will go to the right and will stop at the end and back to the left and stop. That will fix in, and there is a limitation, and that's the size of your visual. So you can change this one to up or down to change the direction of this. So if I select up, so it will go up, and then if I set down, it will start from down up. So if I change this one to scroll, that will come from the downside and we go up and then again. So it's not only that marquee is not only for this text one, but yeah, you can use it for the text, and then you can add more information. You can add the table. You can create a table with different direction, up, down, left, right, and then give this option here to select those things. You can add another font, for example, this font size. Let's show another thing. For example, here, I can use, rather than this number, I can use this font size. If it's 39, the scrollman or speed of text will be 39. So you can define another parameter and use that as a slicer, and then assign that or add that and create a variable and use that in your HTML code. So that will give more info, more options to the end user or even to the developer. So, okay, so that's a marquee one. Let's move to the next one. Okay. So the next one, it's not about the text box. It will be about the images. So it's very common if you see some images on the website and you want to embed those images in your reports. The one method is just download those images and then put it in your report. That will affect your size of your reports. But because if you publish your report on your Power BI service, all users will have internet if they want to use that. If you use the Power BI service, not Power BI desktop report server, they will have for Power BI service, they will have internet. So if you use these items, with this method, you can just copy the link of that report, that image from the website, and then embed that in your report. How? With just using this code with this tag, the image tag, and then that width and height will select we can change the size of the image. So I will create another measure. Name it as an image, HTML. Here I will use this one. Again, the code will be between those two double quotation. And then if I add it to this visual, the visual will consider that as a HTML code. So what I need to do, I need to find this code, this URL or the source name. So let me open this one and then go Power BI. Blog Power BI. Let's search this one and then go to here. So here I want to show the Power Automate, for example, this icon. I just click on this one, copy the image address, not copy the image, copy image address, and then back to my repo, and we'll use this one and click on OK. So that will show the that will show the Power Automate image that will pull that based on that image, based on this URL or based on this address, and then we can change the size with this code. So in the width size, so if I make it 140, that will be bigger. So I can say again, I can use different things. I can define the variables and then say, for example, if I select for example, this country, show the flag of that country for my in my report. So that's possible. So what we can do here, I created that report before. Should be this one. Okay, let me back this now. Not this one. Yeah, so you can define that many you can use, for example, in all report. Back to this one quickly here. For example, I created here. I created this one. Let's get rid of the marquee one, and then get rid of this one. That will be something like this, and then change this one. The font size, we will change that in the future, but I want to show the flag of Mexico here. If I want to use that one, I can add it here. Let's use the old codes to save some time. So country, variable financial country, lower country, save flag. And yeah, okay. I will explain that, what those codes are, and then add this flag here. And this one, and okay. So what I did here, so here, go back to here, that will, here I use this HTML code so to show the images from here. So if I change this one to, for example, India, in the country flag website, because of that. So here, if I click on this India one and then copy this image address, that will be something like this. Okay, I copy that one because I copy this image address, place it here, and then that's a country image, country flag. So here I want to use this one here. Let me just make sure it will be from here, uploads to here. So and then the flag, okay, everything okay. The only thing I need to do is, rather than this one, use this one. Okay, should be okay now. So I use the country one to select the value of country that will return the name of the country I selected. Then I create copy paste the name of the code of that flag from here. And flag.
Oh, hello, Vahid. So I
Yeah.
just I don't want to interrupt you, but just a quick update, just also let the meeting know. So in this room, our next speaker, so due to the personal issue, so she cannot to present. So you can take a little bit more time if you want.
Perfect.
Yeah, but just let everyone know that. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. So we have enough time now. So okay, so I will create this one as a lower country name and then say lower country one. Okay, so what I did, I created this one, this variable with return the country name, which I select on that list. I just make sure all the names are in the lower with the lower letter, because here we have the lower letter, as you can see here. But in my table, all countries started with the capital letter. So I make it lower and then use the LC in the middle of that to change the name of the country in this URL, and then using that flag here. So hope that works now. maybe I didn't use. Okay, so if I change this one to India, check the code. Yeah, that works. So what I just need to do is to make sure this one is an LC and this one. Okay. So I need to select one of this one to make sure that will return the because I use the selected value. That selected value will return blank if I don't select one country. So if I select India, I will return this one. If I select Mexico, that will return the Mexico flag here. So if I select Germany, that's very good. That's another advantage of using the image in the text box. So you can use it in another ways to just make your text box or remote report to take it to the next level. So let's make it a little bit bigger. So that will show the kind of Canada kind of flag and other things like this. So we just use the text HTML code and then added the image HTML code there. Even with the marquee, if we can add the marquee things to that one to start from there, to start from the left to the right. But let's move to the video one, the last topic, the last of this meeting. So, okay, so now imagine we want to add the video, embed the video in our report. So, and then give that option to the report to the end user to just click on that one and play the video on your reports. You can record the video and to explain everything about your reports and then embed that in the first page of report and ask the end user if you run into or if you face with any issue, just click on that video and watch the video or tutorial I created for my report. So I wanted to show how we can embed the YouTube video in this session, but then I found that the way or the method I used is not legal. So I just ignore that one. We can embed the YouTube video with the HTML code, but it's not the legal way. So I just want to show how to use that one from other side. So for example, this is the TED website. So for example, this website. I open this one. So before that, let's talk about this code. So for showing the videos, we need to use that video tag to our measure. So I will create a measure and we'll name it HTML video. Back here and then using this one. So it need to be between those two double quotation, and then what it says these two will just show the size of the video in our report, and then there is a source. That source between those two single quotations, it's same as the image. We need to show the source here, and then the type is the video and MP4. So back to the TED. Here we have a video. We want to embed that video in our report. So I will click on this share, click on this MP4. If I click on that one, that will start to download that video, but I don't want to download that one. So I just want to copy that MP4, so MP4 format. So I right click on this one, hover the mouse and then right click on this one and copy the link address, this one. Copy the link back to my report here, and then here for the source, I will show that this is the source. So pull the information from that website, pull the information from that website, and then show that on my report. So let's use this HTML video. Let's add the value. Now that will pull the information from that website. You can even play that one, and that will show the video on the report. Just imagine you can record the video, publish that on the website or on the SharePoint or anywhere else, and then based on this report, this URL, copy the URL using the HTML on your report and embed the video there. So it's very hard if you want to add a video on your report. So this is the good way and the easiest way if you want to add the video or embed the video in your report. You can change the size For example, to make it a little bit bigger, we can change this, like change the size, and that will change the size here. So you can play with those numbers to make sure that videos fit with the size you are looking for. And then again, I wanted to show how to use it for the YouTube, but it's possible, but it's not legal. So because
Excuse me, Vahid. So I just have a very quick relevant question about this topic. So the plan just ask, does the video link work for videos from Microsoft stream behind the corporate firewalls as well?
Well, let's first about the MS Stream. If that gives you this format of the URL with the MP4 at the end, you can use it. But in terms of firewalls, if you wanted, if you have some firewalls or you have some, I don't know, some filters or something on your network, because that need to be connected to the server of that location you want to use here, the source. I mean, it's an MS Stream or any other YouTube or any other website. That need to make sure you have access to read the information from website. So if you have a firewalls and that will filter or that will block your connection with that side, that won't work. And it depends on your connection on your machine. Maybe you create this one, publish on the web Power BI service, and anyone, for example, one person with I don't know, maybe in one country, open that one, but that site is filtered in that country. That won't work because that need to pull information on the real time from the server, and that's the advantage of this, because that won't affect the size of your report. I'm not sure I answered your question correctly, or I got your question correctly. So please raise it again if you need more information, more details, or even if you have any more options or more use case. Just feel free to send me an email. Then we can talk about that in details.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, that was the last item I want to explain this session. So thank you again for having me, and I want to thank the organization team to well coordinated events, because I'm the leader of the Operation Public User Group. I know how hard to hold this session, and I want to again thank you guys, because you give us this opportunity to gather as a community and share our knowledge and talk about the features with each other. I learned a lot from other events. Even this event, I will follow that one. It's now 12 p.m. It's a.m. Actually. It's more after the 12 in Sydney, Australia. But I do like to be and start and watch other sessions and improve my knowledge. So again, thank you, and hope to see you soon.
Yes, thank you, Vahid, a lot. Yes, it's very exciting knowledge about this. Yeah, I see lots of kind of developers start to use HTML because you can tailor lots of kind of the web design to your report design. That's something very cool, because there are lots of kind of limitations still on the report Power BI. So there is one more question if we have time. So when people just ask, is it possible to view gallery of videos too, just using HTML viewer?
View gallery. I didn't test that, because you need to, if you wanted the best code, HTML code, to embed the videos or some type of things like video in your code, in your reports, is the iframe. Let me just open my browser and show you something here. So if I go to YouTube. Here, if I want to embed, for example, I just want to explain the limitation, why we can't use some of these codes in our reports. If I want to share this one, click on the share and then go to embed, you can see that's the iframe one, but that's blocked. You can't use it you can't use it because of some policy of the Microsoft. I had a discussion with Daniel and other developers, and they said, yeah, that would be great. There are many other limitations, but for Embase, in terms of the galleries, I'm not sure. Because I haven't tested that one. It depends on how you want to show that there, because I have no idea how you want to show that there. I can't say which code or which tag we're going to use, and we can use, and then is that what tag will work on the report or not. But I will work on it, and if you just send me an email, then we can go through the details with each other and then test that.
Yes, thank you so much.
No worries. And then about that, those people who ask for the HTML things and on my website.
I already dropped your website link and your LinkedIn, everything in the chat. Do you have any other resources if the people really have the passion to learn CSS and HTML?
About in terms of the Power BI, there are many. If you search on I can't recall right now, but if you search on the Google, you can find it. But the other things you can use, you can just search for the HTML code you are looking for example, to create a table, and then modify that and use in the report, in your Power BI report.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay.
No worries. Hey, if there is no further questions, thank you again, and have a good one, and see you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.